Welcome to Destination Unknown with Dorine podcast. This is part 2 of women empowerment and friendships. I have Maggie and Lila and Jen with me, fellow models that I've met through this industry. All right, we're going to talk about friendships this time. And what do you guys consider a friend? That's such a vague question, right? it's such a loaded question.
For me, there are many tiers to that.
Yeah, there's many tiers. Okay, so let's talk about it.
Okay. Well,
the deepest, fullest friend.
Yeah, friendships, like the ones that you actually that matter the most to you. Like, I mean, I guess
Your soulmates.
for me, I'd say that I don't have friends. I have family. So for me, friendships is not surface; it's in depth. And we go through transitional phases where we have disagreements, but so long as we're willing to learn and grow. And from those points, those are the people that I would like to keep in my life.
Yeah.
And then there are the people I call friends, but really they're acquaintances.
Yeah.
But I say friends because it would be weird to be like, oh, this is my acquaintance so-and-so. So proper. Bridgerton. That would get stares. So I just say, oh, this is my friend. And then, especially in the industry, sometimes you just got to introduce people to each other. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you, Maggie?
The friend to me is just, so I'm one of the friends that is going to always call you out on your bullshit, and I think that is what a true friend is.
Yeah,
Someone
for sure.
Who is going to tell you whenever you are not doing what you should be doing, and kind of put you in your place when you need it, but also support you and motivate you to be the best version of you, and just constantly loving you and being there by your side without judgment. Just
especially without judgment.
No judgment, and that goes in back to the insecurities. Like, a confident friend, that's what a true friend is. Someone who's confident in themselves, but can also bring that to you and empower you, and not be afraid to empower you and push you to do something without it taking away from you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pours into your cup.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. What about you, Jen?
Well, I guess before this year, I thought that my best friends were ones that I've known for years and years. But this year, I've learned that it doesn't matter how long I've known someone.
That's true.
You can, feel like you've kind of almost known them longer versus someone that I've known for years and years. It's kind of weird because, I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, I think there are definitely, tiers, and I've... But, what's to say? Sorry.
It's okay.
No, but it makes sense.
But definitely I do feel like the people that I consider best friends are family. Mm-hmm. And I think it also gives me kind of a responsibility. I want to be there for that person and kind of learn from the past and stuff, and kind of not repeat the same mistakes of friends, drama.
Exactly,
less of the drama, so.
Yeah. Definitely what you said, friends or family, that you get to choose.
Yeah.
Because family, you don't get to choose. Because I'm there's friends that I'm much closer to than I am with certain family of mine. So it's and I consider them my friend, my family and stuff like that.
Right.
Do you girls, have you girls always been good, do you have a lot of girlfriends or guy friends?
I personally out here have a lot of male acquaintances.
Yeah, okay.
They're not romantic.
You hear that, guys? You and her friends.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No offense. What are you doing to me?
I'm kidding.
But I'd say I have a lot of male acquaintances because I have not gone through the hurdles where I would consider them friends or family.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Right? For instance, I have a friend who lives in Maryland who I never met in person until this year. Literally, we've known each other for 2 years. And it's things like that. I consider him a friend, but at the same time, we haven't gone through the hurdles where if we have a disagreement, how are we going to tackle that, Because at the end of the day, it's about growing together.
Exactly,
but they're very supportive. They pour a lot of knowledge into me, and we try to be supportive for each other, so...
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Jen? Do you have more guy friends or more...
Now it's even.
Yeah.
I would say before, I definitely had more guy friends because I played tennis, so it's mostly guys on tennis courts, and it just... But then more that I'm now in modeling, less playing tennis. It's kind of evened out, which I love.
Yeah.
Because I did kind of feel like I was kind of becoming like one of the guys a little bit. But now it's kind of even. So.
Yeah. For me too, like, because I grew up as a tomboy, so like for sure, like I have more guy friends growing up and stuff like that. And I kind of like, even moving here, I've noticed that like I have more guy friends because they understand me, and I can go and joke with them and know that they're not gonna be sensitive about they're not gonna be sensitive about this sarcasm because I'm very sarcastic.
Same.
And I say things sometimes to just see people's reaction because it's hilarious to me. It's like the good things, like I'm not gonna say anything that's like mean or anything like that. And so like I've noticed, like I don't know, but I've noticed that like it's starting to like even out where like I'm having more girlfriends and things like that. But sometimes the friendships with the girlfriends don't last as long as the friendships with the guys. And granted, I look girly and all, but like my mindset is always gonna be like freaking more masculine and like very tomboyish. So like I always like, I don't know.
I think that's because you're just very powerful and confident.
Yeah.
And
so some girls,
comes off as very masculine.
Yeah. And some girls don't know how to handle my energy because they're very intimidated. But I'm like, I'm always smiling, so I don't know why they're intimidated.
The people that you're intimidated by are usually the nicest people.
Yeah, literally, that's true. Because you know, a lot of my girlfriends that I met, like in Maryland, they used to say like, when they first met me, she was like, "Oh, you had a bitch face," and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "How did you think that?" I'm like, okay, wow.
My best friend, I met her my sophomore year of high school, so we've been friends for about 5 years now, and that was our first interaction. We met on the dance team, and we were just like, you looked like a bitch, but now we're best friends.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's how it always starts.
And actually, you know, I just realized something. Like most of the girlfriends that I had, especially in Maryland, were introduced to me through my guy friends, and to be honest, that's the only reason why I feel like some of the women give me a chance is because once I'm cool with the guys, and the guys are usually very outspoken. They usually are the ones that like this is my friend. Like either you're with it, if you're not with it, like we're not kicking it with it. Like we're not gonna be hanging out with. So I feel like guys always bring me into the groups of women. Even the gym that I used to go to. Like, to be honest, most of the women that I know from the group that I hang around with is because some guy introduced me to them. And then sometimes I do feel like, I don't know, I feel like some women are only friends with me because they want to keep an eye, because they like that guy and they want to make sure that, so they're like,
interest, there's an alternative.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're friends with me is because they want to keep an eye on me, make sure that like I'm not taking, but once I figure out that they're like him, I'm like, you can have him.
Right.
Like, I'm good on that.
Right. And then that ruins an entire potential of a really healthy relationship.
Exactly. So I'm like, yeah.
And I was going to say, too, like, I noticed for myself that I gravitate towards those, my female friendships at least, are very grounded. They're very opposite because I'm all about makeup and getting my nails done.
Yeah.
But they're very much like, I'm chill. I'm good.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if, like, we gravitate towards those that we aspire to be more like, in a sense, as far as like I've experienced a little.
I would agree. That's why I'm friends with Dorine.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
yeah, because
I feel like our energy is just like attracted. Like we met once and then we saw each other again, and it was just like, all right, we're friends now.
Yeah. Playboy bunnies. The Playboy bunnies is what got us.
Right.
That's what we started talking about.
Tattoos.
Yeah, we both have a Playboy bunny, so I was just like, we started talking about that. Yeah. But I love when I meet genuine girlfriends. It really making my heart warm because I'm like, because it's rare for me to find like a lot of girlfriends that actually are very genuine and actually want to see you win and don't have jealousy tendencies. Because it's like, it's weird, like, because you become friends with certain girls and then once you become friends, they start acting weird towards you. And I'm like, okay, well,
generally over men.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, that's so true. I've actually
getting away.
One of my girlfriends that I stopped talking to, like the thing that she used to do, like every time we had like a girls' night out, she would always bring a guy, like a different date, and she brought this guy one time. And you could just tell that like there's so much awkwardness between us, all of us, that like nobody was speaking, nobody was talking, and I just don't want the nonsense of the stereotype of like how black women are perceived as like angry black women. So for me, I'm always like a giddy energy. So I started talking to him. I'm like, hey, I'm Dorine, because he was like pure like silence. He was like awkwardness. I started talking to him. I was like, hey, have I seen you somewhere? and then apparently my girls start talking about me for me talking to him, but I'm like, I'm trying to include him into the conversation so that way it can feel like, why would you bring your date in a group setting if you don't want it to be a group setting? Okay, like otherwise, keep it like just private between y'all. If you don't want people to talk to him, that's weird. Right?
That's weird. Possessive as hell.
If I bring guys around, like I want my girls to talk to him. I don't really care.
Yeah.
To be honest, I actually like my guys to meet my girlfriends so that way, like just in case you're interested to my girls, you have a chance to either go for my girls or me.
Right.
And you gotta vet your friendships too,
Yeah.
right? You gotta put them in different environments and situations, and that's how you learn about each other.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that way, like you have plenty of choices. You have options. You either want to go for me or you want to go for my friends. But you can't go back and forth, okay? You cannot go back and forth. Which I've noticed. Have you noticed that some of the guys we've met, did they do that?
They triangulate, like pin.
Oh my God, they try to,
yeah. We gotta do better than that, girls.
How long is the longest friendships you've had?
It's been hard because I did move around a lot, so like that is one big thing. I guess one downside to constantly moving is you don't get a chance to build strong relationships.
That's true, yeah.
Like, for the last 6 years of my life, I move every year. So I meet you for a year and I'm like, all right, bye. I may never see you again. And then a lot of the time people will just stop talking to me and I'm like, I mean, I'm not upset about that. If you want to leave my life, go along, because that just opens up rooms for better people to come in.
That's so true, yeah.
So it's just been hard.
I've noticed that too, when some friends I kind of drop some friends, that there's it opens more room for better friendships or better things in my life.
Go.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't. I used to hold on to friendships, but now I'm just you know what? If you must go, bye.
If you feel like you
I'll
have
open
to
the door
hold
for you.
on to it, it's probably not good for you.
Yeah, because it's you're forcing it, and it's
Yeah.
not. Nothing should be forced. It should be just very genuine,
The true friendship
Flow.
should just
Flow.
be
That
easy.
word, I love that word.
Yeah.
Yes.
very flowy.
I was going to touch base on that actually. Something I learned recently is that sometimes when there's that space in your friendships, doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want you in their life. It sometimes means that they are trying to cultivate something for themselves and need room to grow, but we don't always communicate it. That's what I learned recently.
That's so
It
true,
blew my mind. I was like, oh, so you didn't actually not want to be my friend. You were just going through something and didn't know how to properly communicate that.
That's true. A lot of people do go through a lot of things and they don't know how to communicate. Because I know when I'm going through things, I'm not gonna tell my friends. I just kind of distance myself from a lot of people, and because I don't want to be the kind of person that brings my misery into other people. So let me deal with my own stuff, and then I'll get back to y'all when I'm happy. Because I like to be around people when I'm happy, not when I'm sad. I want to deal with my own sadness by myself, and then deal with it. And then once I'm good, I'm like, okay.
But is that a good thing though? Because people should accept you and you're good and you're bad. Trust me, I've been there.
That's true. But I do have certain friends that I can talk to about, but I don't like to be vulnerable around everyone because I've noticed I've experienced a lot of friends who bring out my against me. The things that I brought up to them. Yeah, that's what I noticed, and that's why it taught me just don't talk about problems to certain people because they're just gonna use it against you, or it makes them happy. You can literally tell literally some people you tell them your problems, it makes them happy because they don't want to see you win. They don't want.
But that also lets you know right away who is your real friend.
Yeah, right away. That's the whole point.
And you develop the muscle to recognize those sort of people without even having to interact with them too much either.
That's true.
That's why sometimes I'm just I don't know what it is. There's
something.
Yeah, there's something. Is there times when you feel when you meet somebody and you can just feel their energy, and you're just I cannot be around this person, or I can be around this person. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
That's weird that we feel that before even.
Energy is everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Yeah. Well, girls, do you guys want to add anything else to this, friendship wise? Any advices for people? How to become friends, or any advice about women empowerment or friendships?
I think my best advice would just be to prioritize self-love, because that is going to one, that's going to empower yourself, and that is going to give you the energy to want to empower others.
Yeah.
And that goes along with friendships. If you are so truly connected to yourself, you're going to find the best friendships.
Yeah.
So love yourselves.
Yeah.
Something I would add to that is ask the questions, because we can't just assume that we're being supportive or being there for a friend without knowing what their needs are. We just, you know what I mean? We kind of have to cater to them if we care to do that. So I'd say ask the questions and be there for them if you're able to.
Yeah. Communication for sure.
Communication.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
That's the one thing that we lack and that I've noticed. Like, we're so bad at, like, people are so bad at communicating, because a lot of things would be so, there would be less problems within people's relationships and if people communicated better. Yeah. What about you? Anything you want to add, Miss Jen?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely unconditional love, like you said, and kind of like knowing that shame isn't okay, like shaming yourself or somebody else. And I've grown up Catholic, I've grown up, just like, in a very strict environment. So like being shameful towards yourself and having people kind of like shame you for doing something different was really part of my childhood.
Yeah.
So like knowing that, like, now that I'm grown up, that, we all are different, we all kind of like, I can express myself, I can be vulnerable, I can cry, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can lose, I can win, I cannot be successful, and it doesn't really matter. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
My last thing is, like, for sure, like, when it comes to women empowerment, like, when you empower another woman, it's never going to take away from your light.
No.
So never. And whatever is meant for you is always going to be there. So like, if you go and tell somebody, hey, you need to cast this model, it's not going to take away from you at all. It's actually going to make you look good. And like, oh, wow, this person actually looks out for other people. And then people want to work with you, and why not? Yeah.
Good karma.
Yeah, good karma, of course, yeah.
There you go.
Do you want to add something? Yeah.
One last thing. Also remember that, like, if people are like shaming you, or they're trying to bring you down, that's just a reflection of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're gonna end it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, don't take things personal that people are like, if they're trying to make you feel like less than you are, just know that they're going through their own things.
Comparing themselves to you, and
yeah.
they're just projecting their insecurities on you. So whatever they're trying to bring you down for, that they feel bad about that themselves.
But don't mistake it for constructive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
also a thing too. So, yeah. I wonder.
It's
For sure.
It's a journey.
It's a journey. We're learning for sure.
Well, thank you, girls, for coming through with the conversation. I appreciate it. I'm sure I'll definitely have you girls back on for more other topics.
I'd love to.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Destination Unknown with Dorine. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Peace and love.
Bye.